Oh my goodness. How are you folks doing this evening? I can tell. That's good. It's very nice to be here in Melbourne. I'm from Sydney. Initially, I'm actually from Redfern, where I was born and raised to an Australian-Italian dad. And my mum's Wiradjuri Australian. And for some reason, I came out Irish. And no one seems to know why that happened. I feel like my mum and the mailman, Connor, might have an idea of how that happened. You guys ever been eating the crumbs off your lap after a meal? Discovered those crumbs didn't taste like anything you just ate? Mystery crumbs. Have a shower, you. I'm actually a cleaner, so you can call me like a crumb professional, kind of, if you think about it. I get to know the people I clean for, and they're like always lovely people. This one guy I got to cleaning for is a book publisher. We got to talking. He was like, do you like books? I was like, I love books. So he ran upstairs and grabbed me a stack of books. But when he ran back downstairs, the first thing I noticed was they're all self-help books. And I was like, hey man, just because I'm a cleaner doesn't mean I'm depressed. Give me the books. And he was right, I love those books. Unfortunately, through reading them though, this girl that I was seeing, she was like, what are you reading these for? Are you depressed? Are you sad or something? And I was like, no, I got a lot out of them. In fact, I think you'd get a lot out of them. And she didn't like that. She was like, what does that mean I'd get a lot out of them? You're the loser reading the books. And I was like, you're fucking the loser reading the books. Yeah. And she was like, just because I am... Give me the books. She loved those books. Unfortunately, through reading them, she discovered that I was holding her back, you know? So it was like... It's really hard to argue with someone about facts that came out of a book that you argued with them to read. You're like, I'm going to push back on Tony Robbins in this one. Just a little bit. We would actually date on and off for multiple years, and every birthday that we were together, she would tell me that she was going to give me the best blowjob that I've ever had. Yeah. I used to get very anxious. Very anxious indeed. Not because I didn't want the best blowjob that I've ever had, but because it is my birthday. And I don't feel like acting. You know what I mean? This is my day. It's about me. Why am I pretending to be... You pretend to be better at blowjobs. Read a self-help book or something, you know? We would argue about dumb shit all the time, you know, like inequality between gender. I was like... I was like, do you think it's crazy that women are allowed to draw on their eyebrows? But if I draw on that sweet moustache I've always wanted, I'm crazy. I have to leave the job interview now. Yeah? You're gonna raise a fake eyebrow on my fake moustache? Ludicrous. The first time I fell in love, I was 12 years old. I didn't have any game plan, no experience. I was just falling in love in Redfern. And I didn't have any game plan, no experience. What I did have was an uncle in his young 20s who was already married. And so I said, Jamie, how did you tell Sarah that you liked her? How did she become your girlfriend? And he said, I didn't have a job. I told her I'm not where I want to be in my life right now, but wherever I'm going, I want it to be with you. And I remember just sitting back as a 12-year-old, letting that hit me in the back of my head and just thinking to myself, Uncle Jamie, that is fucking stupid, man. That is dumb. Do you know how 12-year-olds talk? That's not how 12-year-olds talk to each other. That kind of woo and romance isn't gonna fly till like 15 years old. What I did take from the conversation though was that when the opportunity presents itself, you better have something to say, you know, like be prepared like Uncle Jamie. So I went home to go and write down exactly what I wanted to tell this girl, Jasmine, so the next time we were riding our little scooters up at the roundabout, as had become our tradition, I would be prepared. And the day came, I was prepared. The only thing I had not prepared for were how many other kids were gonna be at the roundabout that day. More than I could even count. So I got my courage together and I was like, hey Jasmine, do you think we could talk for a minute? And at a volume that everyone else could hear, she responded in what could only be described as yelling, what do you want to talk about, Elliot? And I like wanted to pretend something was in my eye and just like run away and fight another day. But my uncle's advice hit my head and I was like, no, just go for it, kid. Like take the opportunity, this is it. I went to go and say what I had prepared for Jasmine and nothing. I couldn't think. My mind was blank. The only thing that I could think to say was, I don't have a job right now. I love you. She just got on her scooter right away. It was like, no! Left me with the kids in hysterics. And then over the top of the hysterics, his kid's voice came over. And he's like, hey, she's coming back. She hit the roundabout, she's coming back. And everyone got quiet, like all at once. Like they turned their head like one organism to see that she had hit the roundabout and was coming back. I felt like they got like quiet for me, like I was like the people's champ at this point, you know? Like they wanted me to win the next round. But at full speed, she just rode by. It was like, it's still no. I live that way. I thought they were laughing hard the first time. This one kid came right up to me. He was like, Ellie, did you ask a girl out once and get rejected twice? How does that happen? These other girls here, Elliot and Jasmine, sitting in a tree. And I hear he's unemployed. Deadly. Love that. You guys are so much fun. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it.